What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips, where you already know I get it in. But before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on also, that way you're directing the direction of the dope content I am kicking. And I highly appreciate the support. We're going up on the channel, and it's all because of you. I didn't do nada. You did it right, and I appreciate you for doing it, and I'm very humbled. So for those of you that don't know, the Norteno movement that I was once part of, in and out of prison, there was a lot of rules and regulations. The Northerners are very structured, a very structured group, man. Albeit there's not as many as Southsiders, but what they do have, they make up for in tenacity and viciousness and in the way that they rock, right? I've never had not an ill will or a bad word to say about the Norteno movement, because I was once part of it. I full-fledged believed in the get down, right? Now, there was a lot of rules. And because there was so many different rules and so many things and so many ways you had to carry yourself, you know, it's been hard. It was a hard road for a lot of Norteños, and that's why you see a lot of them on the non-active side, because they just weren't cut from the cloth or couldn't make it. I myself couldn't make it, right? I myself, got put in a situation where I felt that if for no other reason I was going to have to do what I had to do, and I did it. Now, at the same time, one of the main rules and reglas in the Norteno movement is to not be on camera, to not show face, to not do interviews or be on podcasts. Now, this is something that is etched in stone way prior to YouTube and social media platforms. And I know that in 2024, podcasting is the way to go. It's the new way to gangbang. It's the new way to have your voice felt and heard. It's just a new way for us to get information. I myself am a YouTube content creator, and I do it in a correct brown fashion. I like to speak on life experiences, things that I've been through, and so what, so forth, and so what, right? I do it like that. Now, at the end of the day, I was always under the assumption or aware that Norteños that were active, meaning that they were in good standings and are able to wiggle on them streets and within their neighborhoods, were not allowed to go on podcasts. Maybe if a homie started a podcast and he was doing his thing, you could go on it to help him, to enlighten him and educate him. But at the same time, there were certain things you could not speak on. Meaning you couldn't speak on prison. You couldn't speak on rules, regulations, what's really going on, any current events or current news. Just because a lot of the homeboys that are old school and have that old mentality would see through that, and they would have and there would be a situation. So you just couldn't speak on politics, basically. Couldn't speak on the get down and some of the rules and regulations that the homeboys would have to go through while incarcerated or even on the streets. Okay, right now we're at a level in life where if you're a rapper, you're a cool guy. Everybody thinks they're a rapper. We got rappers that spring up out the bushes every day, whether it's Southern California or Northern California. You got vatos like Lefty Gunplay, Chito Ranas that just got out of prison. Vatos like this guy right here, Lazy Boy from Sanjo, Triple L's. You have a lot of good rappers from the North and South, and I've always been a guy about unity and said, man, I would love to get a compilation of these youngsters, these new rappers like Young Iggs, Lazy Boy, GB from Merced, and of course some down south rappers together, man. The correlation, the combination would be unparalleled. They could do their thing. But of course, both sides have spoken on it in certain situations. Most recently, Lefty Gunplay saying he would never do a song with a Norteño. And he's basing it off of politics and reasonings that, I don't know. Pretty much he's rocking Southern California and representing, and he feels some type of way about the North. And he says they have dissed him in many songs, and that's the reason why he's standing firm 10 toes down in his beliefs. I ain't mad at him. I totally understand. There's a lot of Norteños that feel the exact same way. I'm sure I've heard it in music as well as on the internet. Now, again, let's revert back to what I said. Norteños are not allowed to speak on camera. In fact, I remember when I was active and cameras used to come into prison to film documentaries or so forth and so not, whatever they were doing, we weren't allowed to be seen. When they did come in the county jail, they would have to blur our faces out, or we would turn around just because we knew better, so we did better. But again, we're in 2024 and times have changed, where podcasting is the new marketplace for information. It's the new news. So everybody wants to get their hand on a bag. Everybody wants to be included. Well, I don't like Adam 15, right? We're just going to get that right out the way. And it has nothing to do with what people are saying about him with the mysterious charges in Canada. It more so has to do with the way I feel he interrogates people when he talks to them, the way his podcast promotes violence and dissension and segregation amongst the black and brown. The way he lets people like Brick Baby recently crash out on his channel and then plays the dumb role like he don't really know what's going on. You know, all that right there, I believe, is getting views and money off the sweat of the brown man and the black man's brow. If I'm wrong, so be it. Let me know. But I think I'm right in this situation. You know, all that giving his old lady's pussy up to the black man, that's on him. If he wants to be a cuckold and crash out on the bed, hey, he could watch with a magnifying glass and see how that people's going in and out and in. That's up to him. You can't be mad at him because he's a little pineapple-ish, a little fruity, right? But at the same time, you ain't got to respect the man that does that to a woman. I respect men that are protectors and take care of their women correctly. But if she likes it and he likes it, ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. R. Kelly. There he goes, right? Unless she says no. Now, his platform is big. And it's well known in social media that Adam is pretty much that guy, right? He's one of them guys that has provided a platform for a lot of people to get on and speak their truths, tell their stories. I've noticed more so what he has done recently. And he has the right connection because he always brings guys fresh out of prison. He brought Chito Ranas the other day, which I will commend Adam one time for his mind on that because Chito pretty much looked healthy. He was able to display the characteristics and the mannerisms he didn't display the first time he was on the channel, you know, or the first time he was out of prison, excuse me. And you know what? Adam was able to facilitate that conversation. He did ask some questions I was very skeptical on and kind of like, you could have went without. You ain't Vlad. I said, don't act like it. But at the same time, in the meantime, in between time, he did his thug thizzle. You can't be mad at it. So now, for the first time ever, a Norteno, an active young Norteno, has decided to kick the door in and sit down with Adam 15 and discuss whatever topics they're going to discuss. Now, Adam's getting back to the fever of the flavor, getting rappers that are coming up in the game that are not as well known, maybe in their region they're well known like Lazy Boy is from San Jose, but he's bringing them out to the masses. Okay? For this guy to even attempt to sit down with someone the characteristics of Adam boggles my mind. Not that he's not doing a good thing. You see in the clip on the fucking thumbnail, he's saying, hey, homes, someone had to take the initiative to kick down doors for the homies. Now, we all talk about Gold Toes. He's been doing it. He was on several different podcasts down south, American Cholo, several others. Tony A, Rodham Radio. And it's all good in the hood. First and foremost, the raza should be verified, certified, and get their love. That's absolutely correct, the way Gold Toes did that. But I've always said that Toes didn't consider himself a Norteño. He just considers himself a Mexicano pushing a movement of unity from Northern California. Yes, he does have a lot of affiliation with active Norteños and non-active Norteños, or what? Maybe I'm not even going to say non-active Norteños. I don't want to put that on his plate. But active Norteños, that's his business. Okay? He was embraced, shown canalismo and love in Southern California, and because his name holds some weight. Now, Lazy Boy is not that one. He's not known like Gold Toes is, but he's a certified, verified stepper from Northern California. He's a good rapper. The pants are a little too tight for my taste, but again, man, I'm not looking at the vato like that. So the TikTok pants are, they're in style. I don't know. But when it comes to Lazy Boy, for him to take the initiative to actually go to a podcast in Southern California, sit down and speak his fucking truths, trips me out. Because I was under the assumption Norteños could not do that. Maybe times have changed and the wiggle has changed. And maybe everyone is trying to get that fucking bag out of social media. Understandable. Hey, I ain't mad at him. I commend him and I respect the fact that he's willing to do that because a lot of other vatos got the chance and denied it. Not because they were scared, not because they were scared to pull up to Southern California, but more so just because they knew in the back of their mind, Holmes, the way the rules rock. And these vatos, first and foremost, went according to the old school. Now, this vato's young. He's from the new school. He's different. He's a rapper. So he might, think about things in a different way. Whatever the case, he's sitting down with Adam to do an interview. The first active Norteño allegedly meant to do this. I respect it. I respect the fact that he's going to pull up. I respect the fact that he's willing to be the first one. There always has to be that one. He is definitely going to go in the history books of the Norteño cause. Facts. No questions asked. He knows it. That's why he says what he says. Look, someone had to set the precedent, lay the demo down, and put the foundation down for the homeboys. If not him, who else, man? Gotta respect that. Now, that's gangster. But at the same time, there's so many other podcasts that he could have pulled up on These youngsters got this game confused and think that no jumper is out for their best interests, when at the end of the day, it's truly not. The proof is in the pudding. The way Brick Baby was able to crash out the other night on the channel, and Adam played it off and then immediately dropped the video for views. Okay, so many times this has happened where the black and brown, their contribution to what's really going on is minimized, and it's all about Adam 16. Okay, cool. I have a personal beef with Adam. My personal beef is this: I don't like him, right? Other than that, I don't want to fight him. I don't want to karate kick him to the head. He don't need that in his life. He really doesn't need that, right? But I just don't care for the guy, because I know a snake when I see one. Rattling, you know what I mean? Like Bob eating fucking snake tacos. It tastes pretty good. Richie did it. He can too. But his snake ass definitely utilizes the black and brown man. And I'm going to say it if no one else will. Now, lazy pulling up is a good thing in the fact that a Norteno will go down south and finally open their walkout, man, and put it out there and lay some foundation down and talk about the real deal, Holyfield. What he's going to say, what he's going to answer, the questions that are going to be asked, I'm sure are by Adam, are going to be to instigate some shit. He's going to ask some questions that is going to rile the youngster up. He's going to ask some questions, some in-depth questions, probably things we do want to hear, but things that shouldn't be spoken on. We'll see how Lazy is able to facilitate the conversation and play it smooth. Okay? At the end of the day, you know, going on Adam's channel, I've seen so many people that go on there, you know, and talk about whatever they're going to talk about, and then a week later, Adam says something to slight him or disrespect him after they're no longer in the building. Have you noticed that? I've noticed that. You know what I've also noticed is where the fuck Whack 100 is when Brick Baby's in the building all the time. I don't know. On Power, I'm just putting that out there. Now, trip out on this. Maybe Lazy was allowed to do this interview. I'm sure he was. I'm sure he had to get at his proper channels to make sure everything was good, and they told him what he can and cannot say. That's just the way the Norteno movement rocks. A very secretive, clandestine group that is very militant in their structure, the way they do things. And when I was a part of the Norteno movement, we had to be. Our numbers were short. We had to make sure every homeboy was up to par and ready to rock at all times, because if not, numbers overwhelmed us. That just was facts. In and out of prison. It's the truth. It doesn't mean a Norteno is scary or not up to par or as hardcore as a Southsider or any other enemiga. It just means, homes, they have to carry themselves with professionalism, class, and ready to go at all points in time. That's just the way it is. For forever forward is a stride. Now, I want to see what Adam asked this guy. And here's my question to Lazy. And I'm not trying to fuck up the conversation that I'm sure they've already had. It is what it is. It's already cemented. Holmes, it's coming out. If a guy is accused of some sexual predatory type shit, right? I understand he's not convicted. There's no paperwork. But he was asked a question and he admitted to her being 16 and other shit. But he never touched her, but they were kicking. He was chopping it up. Whatever. You know, is it allowed to sit down with that man and conversate? You know, because back in our days, we weren't allowed to socialize or even notice a degenerate or anyone with degenerate characteristics. You know, let alone if you were accused of some type of weirdo shit, that wouldn't be the platform we pulled up to. You know, I have nothing bad to say about the Norteños and the cause. I'm just saying, with that being said, I'm just real skeptical on the situation. You feel me? Again, you know, my hat's off and utmost respects to Lazy, not Adam, but Lazy, for pulling up and having the conversation and being the first active Norteño to be interviewed by No Jumper. But at the end of the day, man, I hate to say it, but I see another youngster, just like Lefty Gunplay, just like Chito Ranas, just like so many others that have went on Money Sign Suede, and so many others that have went on his podcast, be used for views by a vato that really doesn't care about Mexicans. You know, I implore, if this interview has not taken place, I implore to Lazy, because I'm sure people are going to forward this to him. I implore to him, ask the question what his problem and his issues are with Mexicans. Why he allows people to go on his platform and disrespect Norteños, saying Norteño killer and so much that they've done. You know, I'm not gangbanging here. I'm all about the unity of the raza and giving everyone their respect. But in and out of prison, I've conducted myself the same way no matter what side I'm on, whether I was active or non-active. And the way of the wiggle is this with the gun, right? You know, I hate people that are racial and people that utilize our gente for the betterment of their advancement. Because it's supposed to be about social status of equality and not people utilizing the gente for their advancement. Whether you're active or not, I'm talking about the raza period, north and south. You know, I would hate to see this brother sitting here, providing a platform and doing views on, and believe me, he's going to put the first active north end. He's going to do all that, right? Anything to garner more views on social media, that's what the name of the game, right? Like Thunder Lips and Sylvester, it's the name of the game. But at the same time, you know, then turn around and backdoor and bring another Vato on and allow him to disrespect the Northern cause. Jam him up. Let's see what it's about, man. Let's get active a second or two, right? I'm just saying. Anyways, and I don't implore no violence or nothing, but I implore to ask questions. You know, that's why I respect American Cholo for pulling up the way he did and addressing his situation, even though Adam was nowhere to be seen. You know, it's up to us as raza, man, when we get the chance and we feel someone is doing our people and our gente dirty, to fucking facilitate that conversation in our directions, huh? Meaning, put your stamp, your fucking flag down, huelga, and handle your business. Anyways, again, I just want to end it like this. Respects to Lazy Boy for being the first active Norteño to go on No Jumper. It's a big step in bringing Vatos together. I understand that. It's a big step for the Norteños to even allow a situation like this to occur. You see so many different podcasts, and now I'm starting to notice that some Norteños, like say Big Mister and several others, are starting their podcast. Tap into Big Mister, man, if you fuck with it, out of Sanjo. He's a rapper too, a local rapper from the San Jose area that does have a podcast. Again, see, I don't trip off active, non-active, homes. I know where I stand as a man. You know, I know where I've been and what I'm doing tomorrow. And one thing I will say is I'm not here to push a movement, but I'm here to respect all those that have came before me and come after me. That's just the way it is. So shout out to Lazy Boy. Adam, all I can say is you did it again. You know, for some reason, this BMX fucking beach cruiser rider is able to get a whole bunch of people. And there's no hate. I don't hate him because he's getting money. I'm doing what I does. I'm all right, right? I think I'm more mad at the situation that, you know, again, another brown man has gone on his channel. And, you know, we already know how he feels about us. You know, again, I seen that shit last night. If you guys didn't tap in, I know Dubs did a video on it. I watched it about the Brick Baby incident. Brick Baby, I don't know if he was on dope. I don't know what he was doing, but he flipped the fuck out. All of a sudden, man, he was Mr. Amazing, right? That Vato was fucking the plastic man. He was all moving. He was ready to get his rubberization on. I don't know, but Adam allowed that on his podcast. He should have cut the fucking mics right there, cut the video and said, hey, homie, keep your gang politics off my channel. Keep that shit in the streets, homie. No, believe. If something does happen, and it gets real between the 60s and 40s out there, and if something does happen, oh, best believe Adam's going to be right there on the stand like, I don't know why he did that. I mean, maybe he was drinking lean. I'm just saying on the in-between. With that being said, again, one more time, shout out to Lazy Boy for being the first Norteño ever to pull up on the Southern California podcast in a real way. And shout out and respects, man, to the gente that are going to tap in and turn up. Again, I don't promote No Jumper in any form or fashion. But, you know, I would love to see the questions that are asked and how the Vato carries himself. So if it was pre-recorded and it's already done, we'll see how it went. If it isn't, I implore to you, jam him up at least one time for your mind. You know, if I'm ever in the area where I'm able to jam him up face-to-face, Adam, I'm going to ask him just one simple question. This is all we got to do. And I don't never want to go to his channel. I've said it before, I never would. But here's one single question I have. What's your problem with Mexicans? That's it. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the strive, the struggle, the struggle, the strive. I'm going to continue to do what I does right here on YouTube, man, and facilitate the best possible entertainment I can. I appreciate you guys. You ready to go live? I'm about to go live and drop this at the same time. It's what I does. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. And that's the betterment of all people, Norteños and Southsiders. Bulldog. I ain't forgot about you. Bang, bang.